pharmacy, and behavioral health services with many locations throughout Stevens County. Their team of dedicated professionals are here to provide comprehensive care for everyone in your family. Appointments are available now by calling 509-935-6004. New Health, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978. And by Fired Up Pizza. Fired Up Pizza, located at 206 East Main Avenue in downtown Chewelah, offers craft beverages and brick oven fired pizza, including a variety of sandwiches, salads, pasta, and homemade soups. Featuring weekly events such as bingo, karaoke, and live music. Fired Up Pizza also has space for your private event and offers both in-house and off-site catering services. Open daily at 11:30 a.m. for lunch and dinner. For more information, visit their Facebook page or contact Fired Up Pizza at 509-936-9121. Fired Up Pizza is a proud supporter of public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
We're ready. I'm waiting for the music.
You right?
Yeah.
Fingers on the button.
Oh, smooth.
All right now. Come on, boy. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. It is your Wednesday morning local roundup. How are you guys doing today?
I think it's an off morning.
Is it
It's
a-
a bit of an off morning, I think.
Are you feeling a little off today?
Yes.
Well, you know, last week it was a little dark when we came in. This week it was pitch black when we came in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
dark.
That's what I was saying when I came in this morning. It is only because I love doing this so much and because I love you and Sharon that I'm like, I'm getting up before dawn. This is crazy.
I
What
should
am I
say-
doing?
It's going to get worse before it gets better.
I should say it was dark when Sharon and I got here this morning.
Not
okay.
when you got here. Oh, yeah.
Well, at least I'm here before we actually went live, okay?
And I was running late, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all running late.
Yeah.
This was the morning I just didn't want to get out of bed.
Oh.
The-
Well, I turned off, I told you, I turned off my alarm and went back to sleep and woke up at 5 to 7. Oh,
That
my
is
goodness.
just crazy.
You know,
That's wild.
it is.
I don't think I could make it that fast. I would just message you guys, say sorry, no morning. show today." Oh, so anyway, we are here. I forgot to introduce you guys. We're here with the
Yes.
lovely Sharon Ludwig, the lovely Paula Randall,
Yes.
and the lovely Chuck Ritchie.
And
Oh,
lovely
yes.
Sharon.
I,
Yes.
I called myself. Yeah, I'm lovely. Thank you.
You are lovely,
So
Chuck.
we are going to be joined later today for the second half of the show with representative from Hands Across America, representatives
Nation.
rather. Oh, Hands Across Nations. I'm sorry. See, it's early. I'm going without a script. They're going to be here for the second half of the show. They have an event going on this weekend.
Yep.
An informative thing with stories of Africa and crafts and
Yeah.
I
All
should
kinds
have
of
the
fun
poster
stuff,
up when I
yeah.
talk about it, but I don't.
Yeah.
But we'll
Yeah.
get that up in a little bit. So
Yeah.
we're going to have, I believe, Brad Schaefer, Carolyn, and Deb Barbie here with us. And I don't remember Carolyn's last name off the top of my head.
Jones.
Carolyn Jones. Okay. Very, very sweet woman.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So we'll be here with them later. In the meantime, speaking of the darkness, that's kind of weather related, I guess.
Are you still hoarse from the festival on Saturday?
Yesterday I started to get my voice back a little bit to normal, but there's still a little bit of,
Yeah.
we had a great festival.
It was
over
epic.
the weekend.
Yeah, it was epic.
It was amazing. We had so much fun, and I just before we get started, I do want to give a big thank you to the whole community and
Oh my gosh, right?
everybody involved, the festival committee, Toyota for being our main sponsor.
Yeah.
The thing that continually blows me away that I'm still just gobsmacked over were the businesses that donated to the Kazoo fundraiser, to the
It was
Kazoo,
amazing.
for the raffle prizes. We had so many prizes. We had a hard time. We managed to give them all away, but we had a really hard time giving away all the prizes. It was amazing.
It was awesome, and it was neat that at the end people got to choose what they wanted. It was like, okay, we have this, and wonderful Cat. Her picture I'd been saving from the heat, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to get damaged or the plastic, or I was just like, we got to get it out of this full sun, and it went to somebody late in the evening who was actually super excited to get that print.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was one of the guys who won at the very end.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, this is great, because he was looking at that Halloween poster going,
Right?
we don't really celebrate that at my house. And I'm like, well, and then I found Cat's print. I'm like, oh, I have this. And he's like, oh, I love her stuff. So it was good.
That's awesome. I have a list of everybody that donated. I don't have it in front of me, but
Yeah.
so I'm not even going to try to list all the names, but
Right, because you miss somebody.
Yeah, holy cow. It
was
a lot.
amazing.
It was literally every single business, every single artist, everyone I went to ask to donate for the raffle donated.
Yeah.
And it was nice stuff.
Actually, the Bergmans, that was the first time I've had the chance to
They were great.
hear them play.
Yeah, they were great.
A phenomenal band. Really
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Oli, the lead singer, is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed them. And they were a great warm-up for Max Daniels in New Jack City. They kind of got people coming to the pavilion, coming to the stage.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, who's playing? Oh, what's going on? So that was really, really neat to have the Bergmans there and listen to them for the first time.
I think they brought their own little crowd too. There were
Yeah, I
people
think
that
so.
kind of showed up just for them and then took off. But then when Max Daniels came on stage, they were the crowd had
Whoa,
sort
it
of started
was
to die down a little
amazing.
bit, and then
Yeah.
I saw people walking down the street that hadn't been there all day. So there were a bunch of people that showed up just for them, and the dance floor was crowded
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
all
Yeah,
night
good.
till the very end of the festival.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Me. In all my glory. I danced for
Oh,
2
yeah.
hours.
Yeah,
I mean, Daniel and I danced, and people danced, and I danced, and I'm hopping. I'm like, yeah, it was awesome. So, yeah, I'm a bit hoarse still as well.
it was incredible. Yeah, good stuff. So thank you to
Good
everyone
stuff.
involved. Thank you to the
Amazing,
community for
amazing
supporting it.
event. Yeah. Thank you, Chuila.
Oh, and speaking of nice weather, it's actually going to be cloudy today. I don't know if that's nice or not, but it's going to be 70 degrees for the high, 35 overnight, clear skies. 66 and 34 tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. Those cloudy skies hanging around Friday with a high of 66 degrees, low of 37. Only 1% chance of rain, so it should be really nice actually for pumpkin
Yeah, the
bowling.
pumpkin bowling.
We'll get sort of that mild fall weather, a little bit of cloudy skies.
Perfect. Yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah,
And,
gentle wind. Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna be there doing a little play-by-play of the bowling. I'll have to watch some bowling to see how they do the announcing for bowling. I don't
Who cares? We'll do our own.
right. How do you announce bowling? Oh,
I think I've watched one bowling thing and it was accidental. I couldn't get my station to change. I'm like, change. And they were very serious. It's kind of like golf.
Oh, yeah.
Very serious,
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got another spare. If he gets one, he could win the championship.
It's like they have
Yeah,
they have to be quiet so they won't disturb the person who's
Yeah.
throwing the ball.
the only bowling I've ever watched it must have been some sort of celebrity tournament or something. You know, it was Bill Murray and no, actually it was a movie. What I'm trying to think of the movie now. I can't think of the name of the actor. That
Oh,
was,
wow,
was the young
okay.
kid. Kingpin. Woody Harrelson. That's the name I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody
Yeah.
Harrelson.
Yep. Anyway. ruined that
Okay,
joke.
this is
All right.
as boring as watching bowling.
We're not going to announce like that, though. We're going to be our custom Chihuahua exuberant selves on our
Paula,
polling.
we need to do better entertaining Sharon this morning. Come on
It's
now.
like, was it worth coming in this morning? I don't know.
So Saturday,
Okay.
72 and 40, sunny skies. Ooh, that's gonna be a gorgeous. It's gonna be a gorgeous
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah,
76
really
and
nice
41
weekend.
on Sunday. 75 and 42 on Monday. Sunny skies once again. Mostly sunny on Tuesday with a high of 72, low of 42. Maybe this weekend, all those projects that you've been putting off.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
We don't have a lot of weekends like this left. This is going to be a great weekend to get out, and maybe I'll start building that deck that I've had the lumber for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Before the termites get to the deck.
Right?
I was going to say,
Right.
it could happen.
It would.
It could happen, Chuck.
And I get to pull the tarp off of it and see what's
What it
living
looks
under
like.
there.
Yeah, oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Isn't it?
So can you look ahead on the weather to Halloween? Does it go
no,
that
not
far?
yet.
No, it won't
Oh,
go
okay.
that. It won't go.
Just
I
quite
just
that
2
wondered
far.
on their costumes that people are making, if they have to make big costumes that have coats underneath them or what. I'm sure they do.
I will have to say, looking forward, it goes this
It
forecast anyway.
plunges. Yeah.
It's not accurate really that far out, but yeah,
Oh.
we go from 70s, 60s, 50s, low 50s.
Yeah.
Okay, because
It's going to get cold really fast.
yeah, my kids have gone trick or treating when they were younger, and it was snowing.
Right.
We've had snow. It doesn't happen every year, but I just wondered if there's,
I think it's
Yeah.
better if it's cold. It's weird going trick or treating and it's like warm.
Oh, I don't know.
I like it when it's warm.
No.
Yeah, me
I like
too.
it. Well, I like it when
Supposed to
it's in the 50s.
be- Okay,
you know?
everybody out there, you have to kind of weigh in because I love a good blustery, cool, not freezing, but you got to wear a jacket.
I like
Well,
if you're
yeah.
not, if your nose isn't a little cold and your hands aren't a little cold, then it's not cold enough.
I like it. I like it about in the 50s. Although I do remember one year as a kid growing up in Alaska, there wasn't snow on Halloween, and that was weird.
Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Kid growing up in Alaska, he's like, yeah, I like it in the 50s because that's warm to It's like, yes, the 50s are perfect.
For Halloween, that's pretty nice. That's a pretty nice temperature. All
Oh,
right,
very
so why don't
cool.
you go ahead and get us on the school lunch menu, see what's
Yay!
going on.
You know I love that.
I know you do.
Okay, so we have for our October breakfast menu on Wednesday, we have cold variety cereal or parfait or super bakery bread or rotating breakfast sandwich. And hopefully you can have your choice of one or more of those items. And I love that they are making their ors really obvious for us this month. I'm just really enjoying that.
It's like two font sizes bigger and bold and all caps.
Somebody said, hey, they're reading your menu online. And then on Wednesday, we have, this is the 9th, right? Am I on the right day?
It is the 9th
Okay.
all day.
All right. Well, that's good
And
because that would
half
be
of the
really
night.
confusing.
I know, right?
They're going to have chicken cheese enchiladas with cilantro lime rice and fruit and vegetables. So it looks like a really yummy menu today. And then mac and cheese tomorrow with garlic toast, fruit and veggies. And then no school on Friday. Friday and Monday is fall break.
That's right.
Fall break, is that a thing, kids? We never had fall break when I was a kid.
You didn't
That's-
break yourself when you fell?
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was just,
Dun, Sharon did a dad
Wow.
joke.
yeah.
Oh, too fun. But yes, I think, isn't it Indigenous Peoples Day? And that's why they don't have school on Monday, and then they use Friday as like a
Like an
buffer for
in-service day or
teacher.
something?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, I didn't know. I honestly, I don't remember when that is. I should know though.
yeah.
So-
I think coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Very
right.
cool.
We have Craig listening to us this
We
morning.
do.
Good morning, Craig.
Good
Yeah.
morning. Yeah, he's wanting to plug the acoustic jam at Andy's starting at
That's
6
really
p.m.
cool. Okay.
So, yeah, so we had, I do believe, I don't know if I want to announce it right now, but we had we had two different places sell out of kazoos that they had. So technically, the prize for the business that sold the most kazoos, I'm in a little bit of a quandary because we have a tie for the most
Right.
sold, but one business, I got the envelope back with the exact amount of money for all the kazoos they sold.
Right.
The other business was almost 3 times the dollar amount
Wow.
of the kazoos that were sold. Yeah.
How did that happen? So people just donated.
People were donating extra money. So we got a pretty good chunk of change from that one business.
Can we have them both be sponsored this month?
Can we have them do like thumb wrestling or something to decide?
I think if they sold all our kazoos, they have done enough.
I think we might have a tie.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I think we might call it a drive. I'm gonna talk with Scott later on, and we'll make a decision on that. But I'm thinking a tie.
Scott, let them both do it. Let them both. Awesome.
But that was a great fundraiser. I'm still even
gosh.
though Willie took us the wrong direction.
Right. I was like, did you guys go around the buildings or something? I was like, where'd the parade go? I was doing a live stream, and so I was following like in the back middle, right? And all of a sudden, half the kazoo people disappeared. I'm like, I don't know where they went. So the rest of us went rogue and went down the other side of the beer garden.
Yeah,
so the kazoo parade was like split in half. And then I got behind a couple guys who were doing the Star Spangled Banner via kazoo.
Yeah.
And so I tried to do like kazoo harmony, and yeah.
Yeah,
it was epic.
I think Will was just going. He was just enjoying it, and he just kind of went with it. So
I love it. That was so cool.
That was a lot of fun. Anyway, so let's go ahead. Since we have a guest coming up, let's kick off with our local events happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So today, of course, is soft pickleball at the golf course from 9 to 11:30. Bingo at Fired Up Pizza from 6 to 7. And we got a message from Craig that they're jamming acoustics this evening at Andy's. And I did not have that on my list because I was going by their flyer that I had that just showed October 9th. Today is October 9th.
I wasn't going to say anything, Sharon.
Oh, my gosh. Last night when I looked at this, I'm going, well, they don't have anything till November 13th. Oh, my goodness. Okay, well,
Sharon needs some coffee or some more of her protein drink.
Yeah, my goodness. Okay.
Do we need a fall break?
I think I will break if I fall. Okay. Anything else for Wednesday? Today.
No.
Let's see what we have here. I have. Oh, don't pickleball. Did you say that?
I did.
Okay. See, that's how much attention I'm paying.
Right. I was going to say, drink some more coffee. All right. Yes, I think we got everything.
Oh,
okay.
Today at 3:30 is the deadline to get your submission for the Chamber newsletter submitted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have something that needs to go out to the Chamber newsletter, you have until 3:30 today to get that into Tammy at the office.
Now, if you've already put something in the newsletter, will they keep it in as long as it's current, or do I need to resubmit?
That's a good question. We need to find the answer.
That is a good question. Tammy, are you listening?
Right? Tammy, let us know. Because I gave my poster for our hunt, but that was last week, so I don't know if I need to do it again this week.
I guess you have to go to the Chamber calendar and find out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's for the newsletter, not the
Yeah, I was
calendar.
going to say
The newsletter.
The newsletter, I think, stays.
I think it does
Okay.
too. I
Yeah.
think she just
Or,
drops
not the newsletter, the calendar, I think.
the calendar.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think that in the newsletter, she has all those things and she just drops them off as they happen.
Oh, good. Okay.
You know, that they have all the posters in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get the newsletter and I wonder, do you have to be a chamber member to get the newsletter or can anybody get it?
I should find out. Let me
I
see
don't
if I
know.
can sign up.
Yeah, because it would be nice to know and we could tell people that they could sign up for
Yeah.
that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if that's true. Anyway.
Maybe it would entice people to be chamber members if they don't.
Maybe.
If they're not already.
Right?
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
I am not a chamber member, so I will try. I keep
Yeah.
meaning to be a chamber member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go on to tomorrow, Thursday, October 10th. We have senior bunco at the senior center from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And we have tomorrow night Cougar volleyball. That's Jenkins Cougar volleyball, not WSU Cougar.
Okay.
Anyway, home against Northwest Christian at 5 and 6:30.
And then we have the Chihuahua Food Bank
Okay.
that is open. And then
From
the
10 a.m.
diaper
to 2 p.m.
distribution. Chuck is opening them to get the details.
Right. Yeah. So the diaper distribution. This is going to be at the St. Mary of the Rosary Parish Hall at 502 East Main, and that is from 10 a.m. to 11:30.
And then Craig Meyer karaoke at Oasis, right?
Mm-hmm. It is the night of the Oasis.
Night of the Oasis.
Yeah.
That
I like
actually is
that.
pretty cool. And that's like from 7 to something, right?
That is from 8:30 to 11:30.
8:30 to 11:30. Okay.
Yeah, how fun that you can just go places all week long and get music almost,
Right?
you know?
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
And then when nobody's singing, then Craig has to fill in all the dead space.
yeah,
Oh, so he
Okay.
wants full evenings.
yeah. All right, so Friday, we start with the Chamber of Commerce meeting. We were just talking about the Chamber, and that's at 7 a.m. out at the Mystiqua Casino. And all are welcome,
Yeah.
you know, to come and find out what the Chamber's doing and what's going on in the community. There's reports from all kinds of businesses and people. Yeah,
You
it's
can
great.
ask them questions about the newsletter.
I could if I would remember,
go.
but I don't remember that kind of stuff. And like we said earlier, there's no school for Chihuahua. It's a 4-day weekend, fall break. And adult pickleball, 9 to 11:30. Farmers market pumpkin bowling at 3:30. And I believe that's the last farmers market.
It's the
Is it?
last farmer's market of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you okay over there?
She's fine. She's fine.
I'm so in the Halloween spirit. Pumpkin boy.
It's a really great day. Kids don't have school, so get them down to the farmer's market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. For the pumpkin bowling.
Exactly. Last day, last chance to get to the market
Yes,
for the year.
yes.
Right?
From 11
Yeah.
a.m. to 3:30.
And they still have great stuff down there.
Oh my
They do.
gosh, right?
They
Yeah.
do.
I was
yeah.
looking at the produce and I was like, what are we going to do for our fresh produce when the farmer's market closes?
Yeah.
I know.
Right?
Well, I do believe the front porch farm is still open out there on the highway, but it's
What,
not.
what,
But it's
what?
not in the park.
What is it?
The front porch.
Yeah, the front porch farm, the big produce stand that's up there at the end.
Halfway to Colville, it's like a cute little cabin that should be in the woods, and it's off to the left in front of their farm. Their farm has all those big greenhouses, and they grow things there.
On the right, there's the old truck. It says front porch farm with the big sign on it with the arrow pointing over across the street.
She's got this look on
I
her
am
face.
like, I'm not kidding. I'm like totally
Okay.
drawing a blank.
Okay.
I have
we'll,
to.
we'll talk later. You should.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, right?
I'll tell
How
you
could
about
I
it,
miss it?
Yeah, that's where their farm is, and they
Okay.
sell produce and stuff right there in their store. And they
All
have
right.
antiques and it's been a while since
Yeah.
I've gone in there.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, now I finally figured out where I did some asking about the American Legion Friday dinners. So I'm
Oh.
hoping to be able to tell us about those. And this Friday, October 11th, is ham, twice baked potatoes, carrots, salad, and a dessert. And it's by donation.
Okay.
And it's
I have a
hosted by
dollar.
what?
I have $1.
You have $1? Well, I'm sure they'll take it in.
Oh,
And it's hosted by the American Legion Auxiliary, Unit 54. It starts at 5:30. And
very cool.
and if it's like any of the other dinners that they have there, you don't want to be late. You want to be able to be there on, close on time because they serve a lot of people and run out. Well,
They-
I don't know that they run out.
Well, they do. I mean,
Does-
Daniel and Xander have gone over there a couple of times,
Does it
and
say
they have
who-
been really, really happy with the food and
Yeah.
what they have been offered. So
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to go over there and eat yet since I've lived here, but
Oh,
I've heard nothing but good. So
a lot of people plan on Friday night dinner
Yeah.
there.
'Cause
And
it's
so I
really
was hoping,
affordable.
I was hoping to be able
is
to.
there who is this one benefit? Does it say?
It doesn't. It didn't say. It just says hosted by the American Legion Auxiliary. So
it
I'm
might be for the Legion themselves. They're doing a
Might
lot
be.
of work on
Yeah.
their building.
Yeah, and the building's looking great.
Oh,
Yeah.
and their
isn't it?
mural is
It's
amazing.
so cool. I was
Oh,
just gonna
yeah.
say, yeah.
Yeah, you need to go by and just pull off the road and just sit and stare at it.
Right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
And I was gonna say, I mean, the previous ones are usually like $15, so I would just say $15.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, as the
Or
donation.
30 or 40.
yeah.
Right?
It's
Well, I
a
mean,
fair
I'm joking,
amount.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then also that night is Chihuahua Kruger football. It's an away game at Northwest Christian, but it's at the Central Valley Field. So, and that's in Spokane.
Okay.
And Craig Meyer karaoke at Fired Up Pizza from 8:30 to 11 p.m. on Friday.
There
so
you go.
you can go dance and listen, like one night after another. It's just wonderful.
It is awesome.
Yeah. Saturday, the only thing I have going on is Cougar volleyball tournament at Liberty, and it's an all-day tournament. So
Okay.
if you're into high school volleyball, that's a place to go. And Sunday, I have All Ages Blues Jam, 4 p.m. at Fired Up Pizza.
That's right.
Yep.
Where they invite you to bring your axe and join the jam. Love
That's
saying that.
right. That's right. And then Monday, of course, we have adult pickleball, and it has Community Brick Builders Club, but I don't think we're doing that yet because the library's not open yet, is it?
I don't believe so. We should get an update on that and see how the construction's going on. I haven't even really seen. I haven't really been paying attention.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I just don't pay attention.
Right.
But I haven't really noticed
Any construction
or
stuff
anything
at
going on
all.
over there.
Yeah.
I wonder, have they even started yet? Or
I don't
have
know.
they been in there working?
I don't know.
Because
We
I know
haven't
this.
called.
I know the Civic Center project hasn't started yet, but I do believe this is separate.
Yeah, I
From
think
that
it is
project.
too. Yeah. And then
Can we skip ahead to the Halloween hunts?
okay.
I think we can.
No. And so and the next things though, we just want to highlight what's coming up.
Okay.
Like October 25th and 26th is the big stomp.
Yes, that looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and the 26th we start our what?
Our haunted path, our trick or treat haunted path, and before that, the Bradley's The Curse of the Pharaoh.
Yes, I have that down, but I
Yes.
didn't highlight it.
Right, and it starts actually on the 18th and 19th. They do Friday and Saturday,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we do Saturday
Yep,
and
yep.
Sunday.
I do have it down. I
Mm-hmm.
failed to highlight.
Right, and so we're doing that. So that's the 18th, 19th, Bradley's is starting, and then 25th, 26th, Bradley's, and then they do it on Halloween. And my hunt is on the 26th and 27th, and also on the 31st.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Is anybody doing like prizes or awards for the best costumes?
well, Boo Fest,
Yeah, Boo Fest, the Truly Creative District is actually
Okay.
holding the costume contest again.
yeah,
We're going to do a photo shoot, and there's going to be prizes from the chamber bucks.
Nice.
And it'll
Nice.
be hopefully this year we'll get those announcements
Soon,
made a little
yeah.
sooner, so they'll be in the paper the next week. And
yeah, that would be awesome. And
Yeah.
that's on the 31st. So Boo Fest is going to be on the 31st.
Yep.
And I heard the hours. Do we have confirmation on the hours? I thought it was 3 to 5 or something, but I heard it was a little
It's-
different.
It's something like that.
right here on the
like-
calendar it says 3:30 to 5:30.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was wondering. So yeah,
Yeah, so-
very exciting.
Yeah, the kids have time to go home from school, get their costume on, and go to Boo Fest.
Yeah, go to Boo Fest and then go to Bradley's and then come to my house.
I want to give another heads. There's another thing happening October 28th.
What is
That
that?
is the auditions for our Christmas radio play.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes, that is going to be epic. Can we say what it's going to be for? What is it?
Yeah. So those are happening right now from 6:30, or not right now. Those right now those are scheduled for October 28th from 6:30 to 7:30. They're going to be right here at the KCHW Northern Lights Theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are doing It's a Wonderful Life.
I know, but
I'm
I
so
had
excited.
written down in my calendar that the auditions were over at the Center for the Arts.
Oh. I
So
do
We will
believe-
clarify.
we need to clarify that.
Well, I'm looking at the calendar. The one that Catherine submitted, I do believe here says
Okay.
at the right here at the station.
Okay, well, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. I like that.
I
Like if
think
you-
there is so much going on in November and December at the theater
Yeah.
that maybe the auditions are being held here just because there's the Wenderettes practicing and there's
Mhm.
The
the
one
Rudolph
acts.
practicing and the
Mhm.
one acts practicing.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's why they have the auditions here for the radio show.
Okay.
But I will have to remember that because I am practicing my one act here.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
No, you're one act. Oh, yeah, because I told you that the auditions were over there, so you were going to have your one act here. So we are confused.
Right.
We will find
We
out
will
before.
get this all straightened out.
That's right. And we'll let you know where really they're going to be.
Well, exactly.
Exactly.
What she said.
Yeah.
That was a wise edit, Chuck. That was awesome.
And just another couple quick heads up from the City Hall. Where is that? I don't have that in front of me. I know the city flushing, the water flushing, has been canceled because of the construction on Main. I think we've talked about
Right.
that a little bit.
We did, yeah.
The Chipper Days are coming up really soon. Do you have that in front of you when those days are?
That is it's a Tuesday, Wednesday. I think it's the 20. Go back to, is this November?
Yeah.
Go back to October. Okay.
Wait, I have it right here. October. Ooh, coming up really soon. October 14th and 21st.
No, that can't
Oh, no,
be.
no. Those are the weeks. Those are the weeks I need to do that. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Oh, October 29th and Tuesday, October 29th, Wednesday, October 30th.
Yeah.
That's for
Yeah.
city
Okay.
residents only. You need to be prepared to show your city water bill or an ID. The drop-off site is at the wastewater treatment plant at the 120 South Hunt Street, the end of Main Street. The hours are from 8 a.m. to 3:30 both days. Maximum limb size is 10 feet long by 12 inches in diameter. Please no garbage, treated lumber, or lawn clippings.
Inches in diameter.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12, like around.
Yeah, so like my pickup, we don't drive it much, and it's stacked with branches that we've been trimming this fall.
Waiting for
and
the
waiting
the
for
chipper
that
days.
day, waiting for
My
chipper
gosh,
day.
that's brilliant.
Yeah. Oh,
We
you
have
never
a-
have
no.
you never done the chipper days?
No, again, we're still, I've been here a year and, 4 months?
You're an
Okay.
old timer now.
That is awesome. We had to take down a cherry tree, a weeping cherry tree that just was not, it was just dead. And we've had, we can't burn, so we've just had it stacked neatly on the side of our property. So, yeah, we can get that out of there.
Yeah, so do you have a pickup or a trailer?
No, but I know people.
Yeah, that's good. That's
well,
good.
have them swing by my house because I'm going to have a pile of branches ready, and my Prius isn't going to get very far.
Right?
Well, yeah,
So-
and we have a couple of piles over at the Center for the Arts, and we're planning on having a work time and taking
Yeah.
them down too. So
Nice.
yeah,
I'm not going to say I still have a branch on my power line from the storm the other day.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Okay.
well, and so this happens twice a year.
oh, good. Okay.
In the fall and in the spring, they do chipper days, and so whenever you're trimming your trees, you can just
You just
plan
save
on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So you don't pay, you just take them in.
you just take
Yep.
them. It was on your utility bill. But
If anybody reads those.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. But it's so small, you
right.
you just look at how much you owe and you pay it. You don't think about reading any of the messages that are on there.
I just get it in an email. I don't
I was
even.
going to say, I get an
Yeah,
email.
I just pay it
Yeah.
online. So
Oh,
And then I have a lot of fun calling Vanessa and Annie.
they're great,
Aren't they awesome?
I love those two.
Right?
yeah,
I'm like, hi. They are the most cheerful utility city people ever.
yeah.
So I
really are.
I just kind of enjoy calling them once a month.
And it's really great too going there. If you back in your truck or your trailer, you don't even have to get out.
Nope.
And they're like, okay, just stay there. And then you blink, and they're like, okay, you're ready. They just
Yeah, they pull it out, then they shut the gate, and you're off.
Yep,
And the
they
next
just-
one, and there's a lineup
yeah.
of people lined up.
Wow.
And they just go. They go so fast.
Yep.
There's like 4 people, and they just your stuff's empty.
Yeah.
It's, okay,
awesome.
next. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's really cool.
it's a great service for the community. Yep.
It really, really, truly is.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. So what else? We have anything else we got going on?
Not that I know of,
Not
but
that I
I'm
can
sure
see.
I've
Yeah, I was gonna
forgotten
say.
something.
Well,
We have we didn't say anything about the annual chamber auction and gala that's happening on the 26th. We kind of skipped ahead.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that is happening. And that the details, I hear that is quite the event. That's from 4:30 to 8 p.m. at the Mistaqua Casino Hotel. And tickets are available at Acres Drug, Valley Drug, the Chewelah Independent, and the Chamber of Commerce.
And a couple of those outlets don't have any tickets left, but I believe they still have tickets at the chamber. And so, and it's a great thing. It is a great thing.
Yeah, that's what I've
It
heard.
is.
Yeah,
But it's quite an
yeah.
event. It's
Yeah.
we are donating. I think we're actually going to be elsewhere that weekend, so we're not going to be able to make it, but we've made it before, and it's
Yeah. Yeah. The center
been a lot
donates
of fun.
for the auction. We donate certificates to all the events that we're having
Oh, cool.
this season, this next year. So
oh my
there's-
gosh.
Yeah.
I think when we finally
be epic.
submit our giveaway, we're gonna throw a kazoo or two in there,
Yes.
just for good measure,
Yes, that would be epic.
just so there can be those 1 or 2 people at the party
Uh,
blowing on their kazoo the whole time.
Right? That's my word of the day, epic.
Epic,
I've said it like 20 times
right?
now.
Isn't that what the kids are saying? No, I think that was like 2 generations ago. Used epic a lot.
I think so. And
Yeah.
then East Coast is wicked. It's very wicked.
Wicked.
Right?
The wicked weather to go park the car in the yard, you know, get a little lobster.
Yes.
All right. So really quick here before we go to break, we have our guests waiting in the other room. We have on our local Chewelah Valley Lions Club community calendar, which if your name is not on here and it is your birthday, it's because you didn't contact somebody from the Lions Club last year to get your name submitted on that calendar. It is time. They are getting those submissions.
That's right.
Okay.
November 1st is the last day.
Yeah. Time is running out. It's your time to order your calendar for next year and to also get your birthdays, your anniversaries on that calendar. So
Yeah.
I put like my entire family all over the country. I'm like, I'm on the radio and I want to say happy birthday. So I'm here. Here's this person and this person.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I just remembered I need to call them back, get a couple more names on there. I talked to them
See?
briefly.
Yes.
I did find out also, thanks to the lovely detective work of the lady that called. I can't remember who called me, but we had to do some sleuthing to find out KCHW's birthday. We put some stuff together, looking at old calendars, looking at old Facebook posts, listening. There were a bunch of recordings on the computer of, promos for a birthday celebration where there was pancakes, which we might do again this year, do some breakfast pancakes for our birthday.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
So when is it?
He kept saying, tomorrow, this Friday, with no dates.
Oh, no.
March 5th. March 5th is the KCHW birthday.
Oh, how fun.
We will be, I believe, 14 years old this year.
And
Wow.
what day of the
Next
week?
year.
What day of the week is that?
I haven't looked that far ahead,
Ah,
so I
We
don't
can
know.
look that far here.
There you go.
Okay.
So really quick, though, before we get too carried away and off like rabid squirrels, today we have on our Truly Lions Club calendar Doug Stolp, Marlene Carpenter, and Austin Ralstad with birthdays.
so is that Marlene?
It says Marlene Carpenter.
Yeah, but you said Marlon.
Oh, did I? Marlene.
did.
Marlene.
Yeah.
Well, it's early,
Yeah, because Marlon would be a boy and Marlene
Marlene.
is a
It's
girl.
a girl.
Marlene. I meant to say
Yeah.
Marlene. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Sorry, Marlene. I thought I said Marlene.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Happy birthday. Happy day. Happy birthday. Yay. Yay. There we go.
There you go. All right, we're going to go ahead and take our break now. We got some guests waiting in the lobby. The lobby. The
Oh,
lobby with
Another
Marlene.
cup of coffee, Chuck.
I do need more coffee. All right, everybody. We'll be right back. We're going to thank our sponsors. Listen to the news, and we'll be right back with some representatives from Hands Across Nations.
Ooh,
Very
this will
good.
be fun.
It's 8:02.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Chewelah, Colville, Kettle Falls.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, October the 9th, 2024. I'm Mike Clifford. As the powerhouse Hurricane Milton nears the Florida coastline, communities in the Tampa Bay area are extending relief efforts initially launched for Hurricane Helene.
Demp's law firm in Wesley Chapel is one of many organizations that have led relief donation drives for Hurricane Helene. But Cornelius Demps is now grappling with the daunting possibility of widespread devastation from Hurricane Milton. He says he would ask people to pray for all in the storm's path as they adjust to the ongoing need.
And so what we decided to do is extend our hurricane relief donation drive. It was supposed to end this Friday. Instead, we're going to do it for the rest of the month of October. And mainly we need people just to donate what they can.
The firm has been collecting essential items such as cleaning supplies, food, and clothing, with help from local groups like the NAACP in St. Petersburg and the Rotary Club of Wesley Chapel. The firm is also helping with Carmel Friendship Church to create an Amazon wish list so that people who don't live in the area can donate as well. I'm Tremel Gomes.
The Associated Press reports Hurricane Milton was upgraded back to a Cat 5 storm as it churns towards Florida's west coast. The ferocious storm could land a once-in-a-century direct hit on Tampa and St. Petersburg. Long-term facilities in counties where mandatory evacuations have been issued are taking their patients elsewhere, while hospitals are largely on guard, preparing to stay open through the storm. And as the West becomes hotter and drier, governments and experts want to diversify drinking water sources. California is just one state that's looking at a culturally taboo water source, sewage. More in the State Line Solutions Journalism Network, California News Service collaboration.
Orange County is the first in the U.S. to recycle every ounce of its wastewater. That's 130 million gallons of water purified every day, or enough to fill nearly 200 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Right now, that water is being used to replenish the local groundwater aquifer, but it's actually potable. Darren Polimis with the California State Water Resources Control Board says reusing it as drinking water makes both scientific and economic sense.
We spend a lot of money and energy moving water from different parts of the state to Southern California where it's used. Use it once, dump it in the ocean. That's maybe not the smartest way to deal with a resiliency question.
California's state water officials are slated to greenlight new rules this month that would allow counties to purify wastewater and inject it immediately into the drinking supply. Cities, including Los Angeles and San Diego, plan to recycle wastewater similarly in the next decade. This story was produced with original reporting from Matt Vesel-Gambros and Kevin Hardy for Stateline. I'm Kathleen Shannon.
Regulators in Colorado, Florida, Iowa, and Kansas are also looking at how to use recycled water more effectively. This is Public News Service. Immigration boosts the economy in Colorado across the U.S., but new policies are needed to maximize gains and make it harder for employers to abuse workers.
That's according to a new Colorado Fiscal Institute study, which found that each year, immigrants generate $54 billion in state economic output. Despite widespread claims that immigrants are coming to take jobs from U.S.-born Americans, Sophie Shea with the Institute says immigration actually increases opportunities for all Coloradans.
Research shows, study after study, that there are no fixed numbers of jobs in a state. When immigrants move to Colorado, the economy grows. That doesn't mean fewer jobs. It means more jobs.
More than 500,000 Colorado immigrants work in low-wage, middle-wage, and higher-wage jobs. They're nursing assistants, cooks, and software developers. Nearly 1 in 5 small businesses in the state were launched by immigrants, creating jobs for U.S.-born and new residents alike. The report also shows how immigration has led to better, not worse, wages for U.S.-born workers. I'm Eric Galatas.
And 2 specific types of cancer are showing up in high numbers among people in jail and prison, and Illinois is no exception.
The data found that diagnoses and mortality numbers for liver and lung cancer are more prevalent among county jails and state prisons. Lead author Dr. Xingshun Chow with the American Cancer Society says individuals may need to be transferred to outside facilities to receive cancer treatment, which is often denied or delayed, and that people with cancer and those behind bars share some characteristics or risk factors.
For liver cancer, some of the risk factors for developing liver cancer included hepatitis B and C, unhealthy alcohol use, and we know that for lung cancer, smoking is a huge risk factor. And those factors are also very common among people who are currently incarcerated or with incarceration history.
She adds studies have shown that people are in Illinois state prisons with another 17,000 in local jails. I'm Terry D. reporting.
Finally, next to Ohio, the impact of domestic violence continues to devastate families. We get the story from our Farah Siddiqui.
The Ohio Domestic Violence Network has released its 9th annual fatality report, revealing that 114 people, including 15 children, lost their lives to domestic violence in the past year. This includes incidents where victims were shot, strangled, or beaten, often while trying to leave their abuser. According to ODVN's legal counsel, Lisa DeGeeter, these victims were seeking help.
We continue to see victims, particularly parents, reach out for help to protect themselves and their children and not receive what is needed.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Hear us on interesting radio stations. On your favorite podcast platform, find our content and trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Welcome to 2024 Talks, where we're following our democracy in historic times.
And I'm canceling my trip to Germany and Africa. I just don't think I can be out of the country at this time. We're going to stay focused on what's ahead of us right now.
President Joe Biden is canceling international travel ahead of the landing of the Category 5 Hurricane Milton. He emphasizes the need to stay in the U.S. to manage the situation. Governor Ron DeSantis says nearly all of Florida is under an emergency declaration, with the huge and intense storm likely to cut right across the middle of the state. He praises the federal help they're getting.
I've spoken to the president and FEMA. We still have 51 counties that are under a state of emergency. This storm is going to go across the Florida Peninsula, and it's going to exit on the east coast of Florida into the Atlantic Ocean, likely still as a hurricane.
Former President Donald Trump is fending off charges from a new book by Bob Woodward. The longtime Washington Post journalist charges that Trump still regularly speaks with Russian President Vladimir Putin, and in 2020 sent Putin COVID tests then hard to get in Moscow. Trump's campaign says the stories were made up by Woodward, who they call a deranged, demented sleazebag. At the Supreme Court, Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar argued firearms laws should apply to ghost guns. She says the weapons easily assembled from kits are showing up at crime scenes, but sold without background checks and impossible to trace.
They claim that if a firearm isn't 100% functional, missing just one hole that could be drilled and immediately assembled into a working gun, that can be sold to anyone online, no background check, no records, and no serial number.
Early voting has started in Arizona, and Democrats are working to turn out the state's Native American 6%. Peggy Flanagan is a member of the White Earth Chippewa and would move up to governor of Minnesota if Tim Walz becomes vice president. She says the Native vote could again be crucial in the Southwest battleground.
In 2020, we watched it come down to Arizona, and I know how powerful the Native vote was in that election, and I anticipate that the Native vote will turn up and turn out yet again.
Senator J.D. Vance, the GOP vice presidential nominee, will rally voters in Tucson today. Voting rights groups in Nevada are campaigning against a ballot measure that would require a government ID to vote in person and additional documentation for mail-in ballots. Supporters say it would restore confidence by preventing fraud, but given the cost of getting an ID, some call it a modern-day poll tax. Atar Hasibullah with the ACLU of Nevada says fraud is being used as an excuse for voter suppression.
Stringent voter ID requirements nationwide have created a greater risk of voter suppression than they have of potentially addressing voter fraud, which is non-existent.
I'm Farah Siddiqui for Pacifica Network and Public News Service. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
I'm blocking the button. I got the button blocked.
Oh no!
There we go.
There we go.
I had a pop-up window in front of it.
All right now, come on, boy. Yeah.
The horse is a little tired today too.
The horse is a little what?
Tired. The horse is a little tired today too.
We all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. We are here in the studio joined with representatives from Hands Across Nations. We have, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourself? I know we have to the left here, we have Deb.
Debbie Barbie. And
oh, just go try again. I'm not getting you on the mic here. Hold on. All right, try again.
Deb Barbie, and I spent 6 months in Uganda in 2015. And this is my dear friend Carolyn sitting next to me.
I'm Carolyn Jones, and I'm co-director of Hands Across Nations and been going there since 2001.
There you go. Yeah. And Brad? Oh.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
You're coming in
really
quiet. Oh, you know what? We have our volume turned down here. Just a second.
It's our fault, Brad. Hold on.
Yeah, this is why we don't do sound check before a live show, right? All right.
I can shout really loud if necessary, but so I've been involved with Hands Across Nations for about 3 or 4 years when I was managing the farmers market, and they came in as a vendor occasionally with all of the beautiful handmade things from Uganda, and I've been fortunate enough to participate the last 3 years as the Master of Ceremonies at the Hands Across Nations fundraiser, which we're going to hear a lot about today.
Right on.
Awesome.
Right on. So this is Saturday, and Carolyn, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about it? Why don't you get a little closer to that mic this time too?
Okay, you want me to tell you about the benefit this weekend?
Yeah.
without it.
Yeah, where do you guys have a place you want to start? Do you want to start talking about the benefit, or do you want to start give a little background behind Hands Across Nations, or?
I guess I usually like to give them a little background because
yeah,
they may not want to come after they hear it, or they might really want to come after they hear it. So, Hands Across Nations started as just a group of people going to Uganda back in 2001. It was a medical team, and Dr. John Stone from here in Shawila and her family went. Vicki Jo Acom, who's a nurse, went, and I'm a physical therapist, and we had a little team there, but we had also a number of people come and support from Shawila. We stayed there for a full month, which was amazing. It was during a war. The rebels had come down and were killing parents and hauling off their children to become child soldiers for them. So we really weren't very well informed when we went, and just went ahead and did it, and it was quite the amazing experience for all of us, and a number of us went back the next year, including Dr. Johnstone. So from there, we've morphed into many different things that we've done for the people there. They're no longer in a war, but there's still there's a lot going on there that is very difficult for them to be healthy and strong and all that. Mm-hmm.
And what was the date range again that you went there?
I went from 2001 all the way to this year. We're still going, and we're going back again next year, early next year. And we've been living there full time for 10 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So.
And if I could jump in now with just to expand a little bit on Uganda.
Yeah.
The audience may ask, why Uganda? There's so many places around planet Earth where this type of need should be met. But Uganda, there was the connection, of course, with the doctors who parachuted in 2001 to help the people. Uganda is a country that is, it's about 3,000 square miles smaller than the state of Oregon. So a kind of a small country, particularly compared to the United States. As far as the population goes, Oregon has about a little over 4 million people living in it. And Uganda has, as of the 2024 numbers, about 49 million people living there. So the population density is quite a bit more than Oregon, about close to 500 people per square mile there.
Wow.
And as far as the abject poverty, the GDP for Uganda is 145 billion, which sounds like a decent number for, as a comparison, just for Washington State, the GDP is 641 billion. The per capita here in this state is ranges between 74,000 and 94,000, and in Uganda it's about little over $3,000, which I imagine the stretch between those who have and those who have not is quite a bit greater than, of course, in the state of Washington. Mm-hmm. But the chronic political instability and erratic economic management, I'm reading this from the Wikipedia site, since the implementation of self-rule. And self-rule, the so-called elected official first came into power in the mid-'80s, and as with many despots, has decided to get rid of elections and other things, and has been in power since that time, and is still ruling that country. So it's a very vulnerable country. It's among the world's poorest and least developed. And there's however, and I know Carolyn and Deb could speak to this, there's what they call the informal economy, which is predominantly female, and kind of runs under the radar and doesn't run through the official retail lines. And a lot of anyone who's been to a country in need like that knows there's an undercurrent of a lot of retail bartering and things that go on in the informal economy, which probably is what allows so many of the people to be able to actually survive rather than going through the usual lines. But that's just a few factoids about why Uganda is so important for us to reach out a helping hand to.
Wow. So you want to take us into do you have more to add to that, or do you want to take us into some of the things that you guys are doing over there? Or?
Yes, I'd love to tell about some of the things that we've done all the way through. We started, like I said, with a medical, and that has sort of continued in a way that people come to our gate, and they come with horrible situations, fractures, car accidents, people who've had their faces almost wiped off because of an accident.
Wow.
And so we can't leave those people, and we raise funds for them, and we go ahead and get them treatment, and have been quite successful with that. And in the meantime, we introduce them to our Lord Jesus Christ, and many of them don't read, so we teach them how to read. We don't. We've taught the teachers.
Yeah.
So the teachers there, because they know the national, or it's not the national language, it's the tribal language there. In fact, there are 42 at least different languages that are in that small country. And it's just incredible. And most of the people who are in their 30s to older have never been to school. So when we offered them Bibles, they couldn't read them. So my husband said, well, would you like to read? And they said, yes, we would. And he said, okay, next year we'll bring you a program. And I thought, okay, this is going to be really interesting. So I quickly got online, thank God for that online, and found a place in Tulsa, Oklahoma called Literacy and Evangelism International. And they do a 5-week course. They flew us over there. And I say us, it was myself and a Ugandan that went with me who was a teacher. And we learned how to do it, brought it back. We had to write the primers to be able to have it because there was nothing in their language. And so that was it. And my husband, Keith, was the one who put it all together on the computer, and we printed them ourselves because we couldn't find a printer. So we had a whole print shop in our house, and by this time we were renting a house.
And that's in Uganda you were doing that?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, very neat.
Yes.
Wow.
They turned the living room of the house into a print shop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
So there was no, it was really interesting, and that's the year that I came. And so they took the program and taught teachers how to teach. The primers themselves teach the students how to teach, and each lesson has a Bible verse that goes with it. And so they are learning, having their own little Bible study, and learning how to read, and learning how to teach how to read.
That's awesome.
It is just absolutely amazing.
I have a funny little story about a lady.
I do want to hear that. Why don't you talk to them? I'm going to get Deb batteries for her microphone. Her microphone
absolutely.
has Deb batteries. So why don't you tell these other two and our listening audience the story? I'll be right back.
Okay. As Debbie said, there is a teacher training guide in the front of the first primer, which is there so that when they learn how to read, they can go back to their village and go back through that primer and do it. There was one lady that was at church, and the person that was teaching the class was teaching it incorrectly. And she raised her hand and she told him, you shouldn't be doing it that way. You should be doing it this way. And he's like,
wow.
How do you know that? And she said, because I read it in the front of the thing. So he called us and asked us to take the manual out of the primer so that she couldn't correct him. Needless to say, we didn't do that.
Right.
And we were originally just in villages. Then we realized that the Bible tells us to go visit people in prison. So we were just going to go visit them. Well, once we got in there, we realized that there were many, many of them because they didn't know how to read and they were struggling to make a living, were thieves, and they needed to learn. And they needed to know the Bible, and they needed to know Jesus. So that's what we did. We started a program in the prison, and it was a kind of a miraculous story that my husband sat next to a man on the plane, started talking to him, and found out that his mother-in-law was working in that very prison, and she got us in there because most people can't do that.
Nice.
So,
Most people are trying to get out of prison, though.
Right?
Yes, and most people were thinking, what are you doing there? You know, I was quite frightened the first time I was there because there are thousands of men inside that prison, and they sleep on top of each other. It is so overcrowded. And they only had like 3 or 4 guards in there. And I thought, one of them could just grab you and do whatever. But in fact, I did have one time as I was leaving that someone came and strangled the guy next to me that was standing next to me, and the prisoners came and attacked him and just beat the pulp out of him. So it was dangerous to go in, but...
And you were standing there when this happened?
I was right next to him, yes, standing, waiting to get out of the prison, going through, because they have several ways.
Was the guy okay? Like, was he strangled dead or just...
No, he didn't. He didn't get killed.
Oh, good.
The other inmates. Because if he had done that, they would have been locked down for a long time.
Oh,
and
wow.
they knew it, so they were the ones. And we did have another prisoner that was one of our top teachers who was stabbed by another one, almost killed, and Hands Across Nation saved his life.
Wow.
Because nobody would have paid for his surgeries and all that. We got him to the hospital right away. They stitched up. I mean, he was badly injured in his abdominal area. And then we had him go to our friend who's done a lot of our surgeries, Dr. Opio, and fixed him up. And he's alive to this day.
So do you have any information on how many that you've taught to read in prisons are not repeat offenders? Does it make a big difference?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. When they go home, they know how to teach. They can teach a class. So many of them are not wanted back there in their villages. They think they're criminals, they're accused of things, and they may have been criminals.
Right.
So they go back there and they say, would you like to learn how to read? I can teach you. And they start classes there, and they're welcomed back in to their communities many times, most times. So it's really quite phenomenal.
If I could jump in and make 2 points. The first point is, you hear these stories of violence and you think of Carolyn being over there, and anyone who knows Carolyn and her sanguine personality, it's amazing that you risked your life, starting in 2001 when all this civil unrest and these rebels were running around, where you had to go back to a compound at night with 2 armed guards and a German Shepherd dog patrolling the grounds. It's hard to imagine you in such danger and risking your life that way for this important work. The second thing is one of the more interesting things I think about the literacy program is it's a 2-step process where, obviously these folks can speak their native tongue, but they first are taught how to read and write in their native language, and then there's like a second primer that takes you from their language into English, and English being the official language of Uganda, because there's like 30 or 40 dialects across the country, and with English as the official language for government and everything else, these folks, if you cannot speak or write it, then you're severely hampered as far as advancing and improving your life, because you can't fill out the forms, you can't transact business, you can't buy real estate, because you don't know the language in which the business world operates over there.
Is there opportunity for higher education once they have learned English and once they're successfully reading? Are there colleges and things that they can attend, or training schools that are available in Uganda?
Well, inside the prison, they go from, exactly as Brad said, they go from the Lango language to the English language. And then they're allowed into, they've never had this before. It's only in the prison that we started in, where they can go to primary school. They start then at about 3rd grade level, and they go up through 7th grade. And then when they graduate from 7th grade, if they pass the national, then they can go on from there. But 7th grade is phenomenal for them to have accomplished. They can do a lot of things after that. We don't keep any kind of, we can't, because it is, by now, it's probably 100,000 people who have.
Wow.
I could be exaggerating, but I'll tell you, after 10 years of doing it and knowing how many have gone through the classes in the prisons, and we don't even know anymore how many are doing it out in the villages because they expand it themselves.
Right.
It could be just more than that, or maybe slightly less.
Well, and you wonder if a small town can have an impact worldwide. Here we have proof positive that, determined people with a cause and a mission have the ability to change the world, right? One person at a time.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's quite a ripple effect.
Yeah.
And you as it goes out, you just don't know.
You don't. Yeah. And you know how the disciples went out in it.
Yeah, exactly.
We know how it happened, but also as we go along, we're seeing all these other things, like the medical difficulties and those kinds of things, and we truly try to help with that. Like during COVID, they said, "Oh, you can't go out there anymore. You can't do this. You can't go in the prisons." So we said, "Well, okay, what'll we do?" And we had a donation of $12,000 something, and we bought food, and people came to our gate. We had hundreds, and then the government came and said, "You can't do this. It's not allowed. You have to buy the food and give it to us, and then we'll distribute it, or give it back to you, and then you can distribute it." And we knew that it would never get there.
That wouldn't happen.
So they said, "We know people in government. We've been there so long that we have friends in high places everywhere, low and high." And my husband went and talked to the head person in our area and said, "We will not bring the food here, but we would like to do it." And he said, "Oh, you don't really need to have the permission, because you're an NGO here and you can do it. But you have to have names of people, you have to know who's going to get it and all that." And we had classes all over the region. We had all their names, we had their teachers' names, we had all of the information that they needed. So we did have the information for that, and we kept records of it, and I can't remember how many, but it was thousands of people who were fed during that time because of someone in Chihuahua area.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Were you able to offer, during COVID especially, the personal protection items to help prevent the spread of COVID? Like masks or anything like
Almost
that?
no one. A few people wore masks, and they made them on the streets, the cloth ones, and people wore those. But there wasn't COVID much over there. It's surprising. We were worse off here in the U.S. than we were there. We know of 2 people that died. That's it.
Oh, wow.
And people there, because they had been duped into getting a polio vaccine, which actually gave people polio, a long time ago, they were not going to take that vaccine. So they would go in, pay for it, but they would not take it, and the doctor wouldn't make them, but they got their little slip that said they got their, yeah. It was just a non-issue, really.
Wow.
Were you going to say
so
something?
Before we get into to the benefit to be able to support this important work, I wanted to touch on. I mean, we've talked a lot about the literacy program, and what I'm going to mention here is from years past, but I think it is important to know the more broad touch that Hands Across Nations has had in Uganda. And Carolyn, I'm pulling this off of some of your notes from when you presented to the Rotary and the Chamber of Commerce, and that Hands Across Nations also set up a sewing school for widows. As you can imagine, a rebel war like that creates a lot of widows. A lot of the men were killed during that time period, and so Hands Across Nations supported a school and gathered women together and gave them sewing machines and taught them how to sew, and which again adds to that informal economy that I discussed before, because obviously it's important to be clothed as well as fed. Over 80 women became tailors. The sewing school continued through the support of a church, and then Hands Across Nations moved to crop projects. There was as you can imagine, in Africa, water is very important. So protecting springs with concrete and pipe systems to keep the cows from fouling the water and was important. And over 40 of these were built, and some of them were in connection with and supported by the Rotary Club of Colville. And then let's see. It's a local women who help rent enough land to raise crops and sell for enough land to build the first school hut and hire a teacher. And this opportunity was also offered to 2 other villages, and all 3 were given 2 oxen to plow the land more easily. And currently, that grade school is a strong kindergarten, which offers through grade 7, and with some of the students coming from faraway villages to actually room and board at the school and get their education. So I thought it was important. I know that Hands Across Nations eventually then moved and focused primarily on the literacy program, but I thought that was pretty fascinating the first 10 or 12 years that you also had a very broad touch with those projects also.
Well, the one thing that I'm really impressed with is that you've gone in and you haven't just gone in and done a program and left. You've gone in and taught people how to take care of themselves and how to better themselves. Sometimes we in the United States know that we're the only right way, and that's not true. Mm-hmm. And so to go in there and work with them within their culture and everything, and help them do it themselves. I just think that's really impressive, and that's coming from just a little start in Chewelah. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This town has really supported us well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sharon.
So what I hear, the roundabout things, these programs are still running.
Yes.
They started them, and the people there took them over and continued them. So that is one thing that a lot of GMOs don't. They keep their hands in that. And then when the funding runs out, the program runs out.
Oh, yeah.
So these programs are running independently.
Yeah.
And that in itself is
huge.
Is the long run, the long goal.
Right, and that makes the real difference.
And that's what we're working now to do with the literacy program, is help them to run it independently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it can be a permanent fixture in Uganda.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
One way that we've done that is we were doing the printing, which was really time consuming. Oh my goodness. And what happened was I was in the airport for Mission Aviation Fellowship flying back into Uganda, and a lady came up and asked what we were doing, and she wanted to write an article. She worked for Mission Aviation Fellowship. And I told her about it, and she came up and she wrote an article. And we said, one of the big things we need is to find a way to print these books. And she said, oh, I'm a writer. My husband's a writer. We know all the publishers in Kampala.
Nice.
We can do it for you. We'll print them out. You just send it on a thumb drive. I was like, this is so amazing. So they did it and got all those books up there to us in less than a week.
Wow.
We had 3,000 books shipped up to us.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And what we've done now is we've shut down our house. We've got an office right in the city where we live. And Lucy, our Girl Friday, she does everything, is running it. And she has all the books. And when someone out in the village needs books, they can buy them from her. So we are getting ourselves out of the loop that way, too, Sharon. Mm-hmm. And Isaac, who was our artist for the primer, and he's severely handicapped with cerebral palsy. Amazing young man, came to know the Lord and changed his life totally. He was sleeping on dirt floors and just had no life at all. And now he's started 15 classes out in the village himself.
Nice.
And he got his member of parliament to sponsor 250 people, poor people that couldn't buy their primers, which are only about $1 a piece. I mean, we've made them as cheap as they can be.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So he's moving it on.
Well,
so tell us, Ian, how many people are involved in the organization that go over there? Pardon me if you've said that before. I was kind of
who go over there?
Yeah, just people
How
involved
big?
in the
Yeah.
organization. What's in general? Is it?
From here in the U.S.?
Yeah,
It's my husband and I right now.
that's it. Just the two of you.
We have had many, like Debbie. Debbie went the longest time of anybody, 6 months. We've had Jean Homer. I mean, I've got a whole list of people. I think we've had over 25 people come with us at one time or another, and then they are behind the scenes, like Brad and a number of other people who are helping us from this side. But it's expensive to go over there, and we make them pay.
The results you're talking about seems like, a multinational organization with, large charities and Jerry Lewis telethons and.
We don't have. This is it.
Wow.
This week is our one fundraiser that we do in a year. We might do another one. We're thinking about doing one, Sharon, over there at PACA maybe later on.
Nice.
Wow.
Not this kind, but somebody's singing or doing something so we can raise some more funds. But we've run on a prayer.
Wow.
Really.
Well,
what were you going to say, Deb?
And we aren't paid. Nobody is paid. None of our American ones. We aren't paid. We pay our own way on the airplanes and all that.
Wow.
So that everything goes to doing the projects.
From my observation over the years and when you've talked about it, we can really see the hand of the Lord in all you're doing.
Sharon, you're
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Right.
So in Uganda right now, the Lucy is a paid employee.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's not.
You're not paying Lucy anymore?
Keith and I pay her as a gift.
Oh, okay.
It's not
So
coming from.
there
I'm
are
sorry
no-
to put that on the radio, but
That's okay.
we pay her monthly,
I didn't
and
know
it
that.
isn't from Hands Across
Sorry.
Nations funds. Yeah,
I
Wow.
am sorry.
thank you.
Well, so tell us about the fundraiser that's coming up. You said it's this Saturday, October 12th. And where is it? It's at Abundant Life Fellowship.
Yes.
And so I'm a newcomer, so where is that? I know 2nd Street is like right over here. So where is it? Is it, give me a building. What am I looking for?
It's across the street from the Civic Center, from
East.
the going
City
toward
Hall.
the west.
From City Hall.
Okay, City Hall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
right across the street from City Hall on to the west.
And the side of it backs up to the school district office.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right across the lawn
It's
from
in-
the City Hall.
Yeah. Okay,
And
good.
you know
Thank
where
you.
Washington Federal, it's across the street from the vacant lot. Yeah,
the vacant
that's
lot.
going to
Yes.
be a church or a bank over there. Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Now I know where it is.
Yeah.
Did you see? Because Sharon knows my blank look, so she was like, "Okay, I got you, Paula. Here it is.
Yes.
Here's the landmark.
Right in town.
Right?
Yeah, and the reason we're doing that is because the Civic Center isn't available. So it's going to be really cozy over there. And I'll let Debbie tell you about what's going to go on during that.
Yeah.
So we are taking our benefit and changing it up a little bit. Instead of the full meal deal, we're serving hors d'oeuvres. And so there's no cover charge. We're not charging anybody to come in to our benefit this year. And we're still having the silent auction baskets and live auctions, some really nice gifts. And we are also having some of the baskets are going to be raffle baskets. This year's changing that up a little bit and seeing how that goes. And we have a couple quilts that we're going to be raffling off there.
Ooh.
So it's so that's kind of all familiar things. We're going to have Keith and Carolyn talking about what we're talking about today, about how what's going on and future hopes and dreams of Hands Across Nations. And it's a time of a lot of people being able to get together, sit down at a table and visit, and just praise the Lord that we're being able to accomplish this change in people's lives in Uganda that is just incredible.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about what is this about? How does this change the atmosphere of the prisons when these prisoners are learning these skills and accomplishing things? Even when I was there, it was only the second year that the program had started. They were telling us, the officials were telling us how the violence and the anger seemed to be subsiding, and it was just a lot calmer presence in the prisons. And so there has been a huge change. And when you see things like that happening, you see people that are hopeless have hope. That they actually have a reason to go out and do something good. They have had that interchange in themselves. It's just absolutely amazing what can happen.
The other thing is that Debbie's right. We have lots of stories, so we're going to have a little program where we'll show pictures of people and in the prison and all that. We are the only people who have been allowed to take photos in the prison.
Oh, wow.
It's illegal to do that. And we went down to Kampala and talked to the head dog, and he said, "You go right ahead," because we had already done it, and we took pictures and gave him a program. We showed him, and he said, "This is what I want." So he said, "Okay, we will not use them to show bad things."
Right.
So we didn't want to denigrate them or anything, so we've been allowed to do that. The other thing is we have a lady who's come to our gate. We've had another one that had the same issues. She has a tumor on her face. It makes me cry even talking about her. We had a Catherine who had one that covered half of her face, totally. She'd been very bad. I met her outside the dentist's office, and I said, we have to do something about it, but I didn't know if we could. And Dr. Opio took that off. She came and prayed with us with a whole group of people that we had helped right before we left this year, and she's doing wonderfully. Now we have another one who has an even worse one on her face. It covers from the top of her head down to about her collarbone, and she can't see out of that eye, and her nose is covered, and we're going to raise money for it because surgeries over there don't cost what they do here. We can do it for probably $1,000, and it would be $50,000 here. Wow. So I'm hoping that this area will sponsor her surgery for her.
Yeah.
If I hold the
And
picture up,
let
will
me-
it? Can you see?
I was going to say, let me say a couple more things about. Oh, right. The benefit. Oh yeah, that's a picture of her, isn't it?
Yeah, you can hold it a little closer. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, this was taken just
Wow.
this week.
She still
we
has a great
finally got her
smile,
into
though.
the doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just a couple more things about the benefit. So the doors will open at 5:30. There'll be you can then come in and view all of the auction items and review the list of live auction items. As Debbie mentioned, there's 3 ways. We're going to have raffles for those who just want to buy a string of raffle tickets and put them into jars in front of the items that you want to have a chance of winning. And then there'll be the silent auction where you can just bid as high as you want and support even more greatly by bidding for items. And then, of course, the live auction. One thing Deb didn't mention, besides the hors d'oeuvres, is there's going to be desserts also. So you can satisfy your sweet tooth while you're there. And just a little bit about the space there at Abundant Life, while it might be a little bit more snug, those who have come to the Civic Center, it's a very kind of gymnasium type atmosphere, where Abundant Life, the space, it's a good sized space. There's going to be a lot of tables. And it's very comfortable. It's more of a living room like atmosphere with carpet and pictures, beautiful pictures on the walls and plants and things. So it's a very comfortable space to be in. And
we still have our basketball hoop though.
So you can play a little basketball. After
Yeah,
dessert?
the basketball hoops are there.
Well, good, because I know one of the auction items is going to be that basketball signed by all of the Bulldog players. So, so whoever wins that item can maybe shoot a few hoops or something. But is there? Do we have any items we want to tease the audience with that they might be able to bid on?
I was going to say that it keeps saying exotic African crafts. What are these?
Something worth $1,000 to pay for that beautiful young lady's surgery.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, we have a big table full of baskets that they're all handmade. They're all made in Lyra, and they're mats that you can put under your hot items. They're little animals made out of African fabrics. They're just elephants and giraffes and those kinds of things. Lots of jewelry. That's mainly what it is, and we have tons of it because I buy it from these people that make it, because they say, nobody's buying it anymore, so I just keep doing that for them.
Good.
And one other thing I want you to know is that for people who don't need stuff, which is most of it, they come and they're interested in all that, but we are going to sell, that's in quotes, sell classes of literacy, so that if you want to support a class of, say, 15 people, it's this much, 10 people this much, 5 people this much. So anybody, if they want to just sponsor students, there'll be a way to do that, because many people say, I don't really need all that stuff.
Which is why they're there anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We hope.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's an awesome option.
Maybe buy yourself an extra dessert.
Oh, the desserts are free, right?
Yeah, everything is free.
I'm sure you wouldn't turn it down if someone wanted to pay for their
Heck
dessert.
no.
Well, some of the auction items, I think, aren't we? We are auctioning some of the bread box pies, aren't we?
We have one bread box pie, and we have also, we'll have one from Dr. Johnstone and
pecan pie.
Yeah.
Pecan pie
Somebody's
from
doing
Carmen.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then I
Paula
think
just, Paula just looked at me like she I think she knows pecan pie is my favorite.
Yeah.
She might make
Gonna be
two.
there. Nice.
Yeah. And those things are going to be there.
So we
Nice,
have
And Brad is going to be a very good auctioneer. He's done really well with being our master of ceremonies. And is this your first time doing it, Brad, as an auctioneer?
Well, as auctioneer, yes, my third year as the master of ceremonies, but my first year as the auctioneer. So what I've experienced in the past is the really good auctioneers they're pretty adroit at squeezing as much money out of the audience for the items auctioned at Gino's benefit last summer. I know, I think it was Paul Setti was the auctioneer, and he was amazing. He not only filled the place with humor, but also was able to squeeze every last dollar out of the audience.
Oh, yeah. At one point he said, now remember, you're doing this because you love Gino. And then he said, and if you don't love Gino, you're doing it because you love Sharon.
Right.
And I just about cried. And so we're doing this, and we're coming to this because we love Carolyn and the people that she works with, and because we love our fellow man, and we want to help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you practicing your auctioneer spiel, Brad? Are you getting that going? Hey, anybody want to pay? Anybody want to pay?
Give me one. No,
I knew you could do
You're
it.
Going once,
I'll
going
be
twice,
more on the
going
Paul
once in 1
Setti
30 second.
vein, where more of just talking through and probably all my jokes falling flat, but I'll be more talking through it. I didn't go to auctioneer school, so I don't have that. But come early, bid often, and let's help support the amazing work that this organization does.
Yeah. Wow. So we're just about getting to the end of the show here. Do you guys have anything else you want to touch on before we head on out for the day?
I had something, but it's already slipped my mind.
Don't you hate that?
We've had a lot of that this morning.
That's my whole day.
Yeah, you kind of have to look around you and see if it's in a puddle somewhere.
I should go back to whatever I was
wondering
just
if.
looking at. Sorry,
I was wondering if the lighting in here made my forehead look shiny, but
Yeah, it does.
Very shiny. It's okay. We love you anyway, Brad.
I can't see him, so I've got this other light in my eyes.
The powder worked, Brad.
I think
you look fine. You look great.
You do not have a shiny forehead, Brad.
The only thing that's shining is your smile.
Oh.
Aw.
So I'd like to say-
Carolyn's got one last thing.
Okay.
I'd like to say one last thing about we have 2 quilts, and Dr. Johnstone usually bids a lot on them. She's really been faithful with that. But these quilts have been made this is the 3rd year, by a friend of mine that I met in my 20s when we lived in Turkey as military wives. And we've stayed in touch, and she has a heart for God. We went to Israel together. And she has made 2 beautiful quilts, one that's more for a man and one that's more for a woman. And she's done this for 3 years. So I want people to know they're brand new. She just did them herself. And I'm grateful for the people that bid on these things, because they do bring in really good funds for these other people.
Oh my gosh, and this area produces such amazing quilts.
Yeah. And so what you're bringing up is it's not just you and Keith that are going over there. You've got a whole army behind you.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Absolutely.
And we so appreciate it. We've been blessed. We couldn't do this by ourselves, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But
obviously.
But you're this little stone that ripples out. It's just, it's great. It's great. And we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just another follow-up on that. Don't forget, the doors open at 5:30. This is Saturday, October 12th at the Abundant Life Fellowship. That's 203 South 2nd Street East in Chewelah. There's going to be African crafts, live and silent auctions, raffles. You have refreshments, and this is free to the public.
Yes.
Although I would say bring
some cash.
Bring some cash. Bring your checkbook.
Yeah. And there'll be signs out on the street to direct people to get there, too.
Perfect. All right.
And it's going to be a gorgeous Saturday, so even if you wanted to walk over there, if you're doing your walks, I know a lot of people walk around town. What a nice place to stop as you're doing your evening walk is to go and check it out. Check out the fundraiser. So that would be really neat.
Yeah. This weekend the weather is going to be phenomenal. I'm trying to plan my to-do list and hope I don't just stay inside on the couch all weekend. And I know I've got one thing I got to do, but other than that, I think it's time to get that deck built.
We hope to see you there at the auction.
Right? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in. Brad, do you have any other parting words of wisdom?
Don't forget the pumpkin bowling at the farmers market on Friday.
Yes.
Yep.
It's the last farmers market of the season.
Yep.
I was talking to you guys about that yesterday. It's a little bittersweet. It's really unfortunate that it's because it becomes such a regular habit to go to the Friday market.
It does.
Get all the stuff you need, and man, those sourdough donuts this year. Come on.
I know, the sourdough donut. That's what's going to be the hardest, is missing the sourdough donuts.
How are we going to eat?
I don't know. Did you try the coffee, the mocha flavored one they had last time?
I've had it before at some
my
point during the summer.
gosh.
But yeah, it was incredible.
I have to do it one more time.
Wow.
Pumpkin bowling, pumpkin bowling. Right?
Anyway, I want to thank you guys again for coming in today. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the work you guys are doing over there. It's really amazing stuff. Don't forget, you can stay tuned right here tonight on KCHW from 6 to 8 p.m. for Music for the Mountain. 8 to 10 p.m. is Dirt Road Blues with our very own Dirt Road Doug McQuain live in the studio. Then from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. is Planetary Radio, Sea Change Radio, Echo Shock, Total and Earth Date. And Scott and I will be here live on the morning show tomorrow. You guys have a great day, everyone. We will see you at the market.
Yes.
Right? All right. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Brad.
Oh, thank you so much.
The time is exactly 9